Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on what is a chef. So what is a chef, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Chefs are professional cooks who are highly proficient in all facets of food preparation. Chefs are responsible for planning menu items, ordering food items, overseeing food preparations, and supervising the kitchen staff. Chefs are in the vanguard. They're on the forefront. They're at the helm of the kitchens. However, chefs can work in self-employed capacities. They do not need to be employed by a restaurateur. Chefs are experts in their niche field of expertise, to say the least. For instance, an executive chef who works at an Italian restaurant may be an expert at preparing Italian cuisines, whereas a chef who works at a Japanese restaurant may be an expert at preparing Japanese cuisines. So the skill sets and knowledge bases of chefs can vary from chef to chef, so just allow that to marinate in the chasms of your mind. Chefs are able to do far more than just prepare scrumptious, succulent, savory, zesty, piquant, flavorful, nutritious, delectable meals to appease their target market. They're also able to delegate responsibilities to kitchen staff. They're able to motivate their kitchen staff, and they're able to help a restaurateur to build a lucrative, sizable clientele of patrons. Chefs are able to help to ensure that food sanitation practices are adhered to by the kitchen staff. Chefs are able to ensure that entrees and appetizers are presentable and are aesthetically appealing to take a gander at. And chefs are able to help train cooks and help ensure that a kitchen runs efficiently. Chefs should also make sure that meals are being efficaciously expedited so that there's not a backlog in the kitchen. It can get overwhelming to work in a kitchen at a highly busy restaurant, especially during dinner time and peak meal hours. So, chefs are culinary professionals. They do far more than just prepare delectable meals. The scope of their responsibilities can vary depending upon their employment status. If they're self-employed, then the owner's burden of preparing meals solely falls on them. However, if they work as an executive chef, then they have a team that can aid them in preparing meals to satisfy patrons of the restaurant. How can they assuage the voracious appetites of their clientele? They can do so by preparing scrumptious meals that leave an indelible aftertaste in the minds of their clients. So, I hope that you deem this video to be insightful and enthralling. Just remember that chefs are experts in their niche field of expertise, and they could prepare delectable meals, lead a kitchen staff to success, and bring to fruition innovative, scrumptious menu items, as well as ensure that food preparation practices are being adhered to by the kitchen staff, and that food sanitation practices are also being adhered to by the kitchen staff. Chefs are highly knowledgeable about food handling, cooking techniques, cutting techniques, entree presentations, appetizer presentations, and food sanitation practices. They also know how to prepare nutritious, delectable meals, and they know how to lead a kitchen staff to success. They should always ensure that they have ample inventory on hand and that meals can be prepared in an expeditious manner, and that there is not a backlog in the kitchen. So, the success of a restaurant is predicated upon the chef's ability to ensure that the clientele is eminently satisfied with the entrees and appetizers. If the chef is incompetent, and lacks substantial knowledge in his niche field of expertise, then it can compromise the restaurant's ability to remain afloat in the pending future. Are chefs inept, ungraceful, unknowledgeable, incompetent, and unskilled? Typically not, but in those contexts in which chefs are unqualified to fulfill their responsibilities, then it can compromise the longevity of the restaurant, and it can adversely impact their ability to grow a sizable, lucrative clientele if they're self-employed. Your services as a chef should not be characterized by insipid mediocrity. You want to leave a lasting impression so that you could attain client referrals if you're a self-employed chef. Mediocre meals can be procured from pretty much anywhere, but as a private chef, if you choose to work in that capacity rather than be employed by a restaurateur, you need to ensure that your meals are always high quality, robust, scrumptious, succulent, delectable meals that warrant their steep prices. Once again, I hope that you found this video to be insightful as well as enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.